If you have young children or if you have grandchildren, you may have seen the movie Up, where the owner provides a magic collar to the dog and it gives him the ability to speak. And the dog is hyper-focused on the importance of being able to thank his owner for giving him the right to speak until...
My master made me this collar. He is a good and smart master, and he made me this collar so that I may talk. Squirrel!
We're focused on delivering the results for the taxpayer, and suddenly an auditor writes a report. A newspaper writes a story. A political opponent says something. A union protests. And suddenly all our focus goes to the distraction of, well, did you see what the newspaper said yesterday? I didn't realize the newspaper was in charge. I thought we were. The importance of recognizing if this is what we're trying to deliver, to not get distracted by the squirrels in the room. So now that I've cheered you up, I want to see if I can't lay out a pathway to performance, the opportunity to take public sector organizations that traditionally underperform and have the ability to make government not suck, the ability to actually produce results for taxpayers, employees, and customers. And it's built upon this principle that government has a responsibility to provide value to the taxpayer in one hand, but an improved customer experience with the other. In the private sector, we just have to make money, right? Make money and we'll be able to move along. Happy customers are good too. In government, we do have to serve both sides of the ledger. It's not enough just to cut, and have the quality of the experience drop dramatically. We want lower taxes, but we want our kids to learn to read and write too. How do we serve both sides of the ledger so that everyone winds up with a winner? And it comes with this concept that you can have anything you want, you just can't have everything. You can't say, I'm going to vote to lower taxes and think that you're going to mow the lawns in the park every single day. It's not, you can't get both done. We've got to pick where we want to be best in class. We've got to pick that space where we are committed to providing excellence. When I was a young pup and I left working for Congressman Paxson, I was thrown into running a public agency in Rochester, New York. Happened to be our transportation system. I was 37 years old, first opportunity to have my own ship, as you will. 900 employees, about an $80 million budget at the time, and we spent 40% more money than we took in every year. So it's an easy answer, right? If you have a troubled agency, if you have a bitter workforce, you might have heard in New York we actually have public employee unions, and sometimes they can be a little toxic, we'll use the word perhaps. My first week, a pipe bomb went off in the garage. My first week, some of the mechanics wrote in fecal matter on the mirrors about new management. These folks were savages. That was the group of employees that I was walking into, the mindset that things will not change. So it's an easy answer when you take over a troubled public agency. What do you do to address the fact that it is upside down economically? Well, we realize that you don't like our service. We're only on time 70% of the time. We realize only 16% of you think our buses are clean. We know that our drivers swear at you when you get on board. But guess what? We're going to charge you more to ride. It's the answer of government, right? It's essentially having an unlimited pot of venture capital. You just keep going back and tell people, I know it's crap, but we're going to charge you more for it. Smile. We found that to be unacceptable. We were not going to go to the taxpayers and tell them that they had to put in more for the garbage we were putting on the street. We were not going to go to the people who were using our service and tell them they had to pay more when we were delivering miserable quality. We concluded that we were going to rebuild a public sector organization to operate, notice the change in words, with a private sector mindset. That's different than government like a business. We tend to be in conservative circles to say we need to run government more like a business. How many of us are prepared to call 911 when our house is on fire and listen to the dispatcher ask for our credit card number? Because that's what government like a business looks like. What we don't expect, with a little kitchen fire is 3 ladder trucks and 32 guys on overtime to show up, right? We expect public sector services to be delivered efficiently and effectively, and how to change the culture to create that mindset.